Hi, my name is Louise, and as an Oxford Academy high school student myself, I've experienced a common issue of finding the perfect place to study in areas outside of the home. Now, many classic study spaces, such as libraries or cafes that many students consider, have a lot of flaws that range from them closing too early or simply being too distracting. There's simply no one place that accommodates all the needs of high school students, as there are a multitude of ways that students study, as well as the environments they want to study in. That's where my business, Cafe Studio, comes in. Cafe Studio is a building sectioned into 3 areas that provide a variety of areas for students to study in. The first area will be the cafe itself, where students will have the calming environment as well as the ability to purchase snacks and drinks in order to socialize with their friends and peers. The next section will be the library aspect of the building, in which students will have the quiet ambience as well as the vast resources that many students go to libraries for. The final section will be group study rooms, in which students will be able to practice presentations, work on group projects, and even have group study sessions, as we know a lot of students prefer to study in that method. Now, a service offering an area to work in isn't unheard of. Many companies such as WeWork Incorporated have based their business model on offering flexible workspaces to people. However, it comes at a high fee that we know that many high school students simply don't have the budget to utilize. Cafe Studio is specifically curated for high school students for them to utilize its resources and fully prepare them for their future. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Louis. I now would like to turn to the judges to see what questions they might have. Dr. Graham?
Yes, thank you, Louis. Very crisp, very competent proposal there that you presented this afternoon. Thank you. I have a question. When you're talking about high school students, what specific problem are you thinking about solving? Is it lack of access to quiet study spaces, or bringing together this combination that you described?
So my product covers a lot of problems that high school students run into. The main issue that I see with a lot of high school students is that as high school students, we have a lot of extracurriculars and after-school activities that we have to do, or need to, or want to do in order to, get into college. The problem with these comes in the lack of time available for students to access these study spaces in order for them to actually study. As often is the case, many students leave their extracurricular or after-school activity late, and often they're forced to go home and study at their own home space, which I know many students can find distracting. Many libraries and cafes close too early, and I want to provide a space for students to be able to go at any time in order to work as long as they please and study.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question. So I'm definitely your target market as somebody who works at coffee shops all the time, and they close a lot earlier than I would hope. How do you expect to make money from this? So I'm a part of what we work. Would this be membership? How would you make money from this?
Yes, it'll be similar to WeWork, and also we'll generate revenue based on subscription. But however, the difference comes in the cost of the separate services. For WeWork, it ranges around $400 to $1,000, which is incredibly expensive for any high school student. However, we want to base our prices around $20 or less per month in order to access our resources. Of course, the cafe will be free in order for students. The cafe will have free access for students to order drinks and snacks, which will also generate revenue. But the resources such as the libraries or the separate group study rooms will have a subscription fee on them for high school students.
Natalia?
Will there be a reservation system, or how do you avoid everybody showing up at the same time?
So for the reservation, so for areas such as for the libraries or cafes, of course, if it's filled, obviously, normal places such as cafes or libraries, when filled, obviously won't have enough room. However, for group study rooms and such, there will be reservations for students in order to accommodate for their times.
Louis, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Next up is